And welcome back to the Learning Curve SG, the podcast where we don't just talk about PE but also learning as well. So today we are very lucky to have Miss Yueh over here to share with us her thoughts and her expertise with regards to inquiry-based learning, which is also known as IBL in PE. So thank you so much, Yueh, for joining us today. Personally, I have tried out IBL during my lessons, and I find that the effect on the motivation of my students was quite positive. They were more engaged during the lessons, and they were trying out ways to solve the questions or the problems that I posed to them before going out to try them out during the lesson itself. And the reason why I tried it out is because I have attended your workshop and I've attended your community of practice sessions, which inspired me to want to give IBL a try. So today we just want to have a conversation with you to have a deeper understanding on how our teachers can try out IBL in small steps in their lessons so that we can help to motivate more students lah. But before that, maybe let me just check with you. How did you get to know about IBL in the first place?
Okay, to be frank, right, I started off doing games concept approach. I use games concept approach in my teaching and learning. It was later on when SFED, Skills Future for Educators, SFED was introduced to the fraternity, I think in 2019, where we start to see, there's inquiry-based learning. Like many other teachers, I have only known inquiry-based learning to be used in science lessons. My colleagues in science, they will tell me, their key pedagogy is IBL. So that's where it all started. So I was wondering, then if this is a key pedagogy for science, then how does it apply in PE? And then after reading up a fair bit, then I start to realize that, hey, actually, GCA is one form of IBL. Maybe I explain a little bit why I say GCA is a form of IBL. Inquiry-based learning has its roots in constructivist approach, where do we say we do not just learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on the experience. If you look at what he say, there's the experience part, where the students learn through going through something. And there is also a second very important part where the students learn through thinking about what they have gone through. Reflecting on the experience, right? So they were doing reflection, they were thinking about what they have done. And that's where they make decisions. Then if we look at games concept approach, a lot of us would have learned that in NIE where there is a 5-step process where you start off with a game, a situation, game 1, where students are placed in a modified game situation to try to solve a tactical problem. Games concept, it could be an attacking games concept or defending games concept, or even narrow down, not just keeping possession, but the teacher can even narrow down to, trying to move into open space to receive the pass and try to shoot along that line. Quite specific to that also have. But ultimately, from there, that's where students learn through game first. The second step of the GCA we have understood is, they come together for a Q&A, discuss to understand the problem, to deepen their understanding further. The next one will be they get to practice. Based on what they have discussed, they noted that they need to improve on a few things. So then that's when the teacher may introduce a task practice for the students, or the teacher can also allow the students to decide, Group A decide they want to practice small-sided game on their own to try to practice their passing. But Group B could decide, I want to do a more close drill practice where everybody need to practice their accuracy of passing to each other, moving down the lane. Group C could be doing something else. Practice something else. Then finally, they come together for another situation, game 2, which can be the same game that they play in situation game 1, but it can also be a slight twist to the rules to challenge the students, and then consolidation. So if we look closely at this 5-step process, the students have experience, they also have opportunities to think about their learning, the experience. They have the opportunity to try out, explore different ways to solve the problem that they decide that, okay, I think this is our problem that we are facing. Let's practice it. Let's help one another to be able to do what we have decided as a team. And then go out and try again. Does it work? Yes, it may not work yet, or it may work very well, but there will be a consolidation for the lesson. Yeah, so then that is why I say IBL is the bigger frame. GCA, it's a form of IBL.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. Because after going through the course that you've conducted together with Ting, as well as our discussion during our COP sessions, right? What I did was that I will trigger the curiosity of my students with a problem or question at the start of the lesson. Then after that, I give them the time and space to explore and experiment on the ideas that they want to use to solve the problem or to answer their query. Yeah, so they discuss and then they go and do something to experiment to try to solve the problem or answer their own questions. Then after that, come back again to discuss whether what they have tried worked or didn't work. And try to improve on their solution, the initial solution, before going out to try again, and then coming back to reflect again. So I guess this was okay. I guess there is some similarities between the IBL process and the GCA process as well. Yeah. So
maybe I'd like to highlight that. Why I use GCA, because GCA is a form of IBL, which is a PE pedagogy. The thing we want to understand is, so why do we do all these steps? Or what's the rationale behind? It is really a student-centered approach where we want our students to be the one who learn through making the decisions themselves, who learn to understand why they did not do so well, who learn to find their own solutions, and they understand that to really succeed, there is this process where they may fail, but it's okay. Come back and try again with a different solution, or to understand things from different perspectives, and they make a decision what they will want to do. It is up to the teacher really to flexibly use the different steps. I mean, truthfully speaking, when I was experimenting this whole 5-step process 7-8 years ago, I realized that for a 60-minute PE lesson, you cannot cover every single step. Okay, I mean, rightfully so, because the students need time to really experience the game to understand the problem well. If let's say it is, a lesson where I want my students to understand the importance of good, accurate passes, able to find my open players to pass to the open players, and I modify this territorial invasion game to use, let's say, possession game, where my students make 5 consecutive passes, 3 consecutive passes to score 1 point within a boundary big enough for them to be able to move also. I cannot just give them 2 minutes and then expect them to be able to understand this problem. They need time to first get used to the rules. It could be something very new to most of the kids. Second, after they get used to the rules, to really have the experience what it is like when they are playing, let's say, a 3v3 possession game. And the question could be, how do you keep possession? Or how do you make sure you pass successfully to your friend? If this is the question I give them, or this is the problem I want them to solve, they need time to play. And then we all know that for a class of 40, you can't have all 40 playing in a basketball court at the same time. You need to rotate, right? Imagine I need 2 cycles. You need at least 5 to 6 minutes for them to experience. There you go. About 12 minutes for the first situation game. Then remember, we still need them to have that quick moments to decide, okay, what are the things that were very successful just now? How did we actually pass successfully just now? What did we do? Share. May not be a long session, but you will need possibly about 3 minutes minimally, for them to really start talking and understand their friend's perspective before they decide, okay, this is what we want to try. So from that experience, I realized that if I follow the 5-step process of games concept approach, I possibly can only do situation game 1, Q&A, task practice, come back for consolidation, and that already took 60 minutes.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So are you saying that there's no need for us to complete the entire IBL or GCA process within one single lesson?
Yeah, you are right. There's no need to. What I mean is you have to look at what is the lesson objectives, what would you want your students to learn that session, and when you are carrying out, you would do your observation, get your students to collect data for themselves to understand where they are, before you decide, okay, what's next for the class to help them learn better, isn't it? So while I may decide that, okay, I have a situation game 1, I have a Q&A, and then I get you into a task practice, let's consolidate the lesson from observation as well as from what the students' data is showing. It could be the tally count that you realize that, hey, maybe they need more time for practice. Your second lesson may not start with any situation game. You may want them to spend a bit more time in task practice still, to improve their ability to pass accurately, to improve their ability to look for open players before you bring them back to the game.
True.
So it may be, I try, okay, this solution seems to be working well, but when I play, no, it does not work so well. Let's come back and see what other solutions may we have. It can be this cycle for a few rounds before they are able to understand, okay, so keeping possession means there are 3 different strategies, 4 different strategies. My team are able to work well, But for this group, they have 2 school team players. This is how we have to play. For this group, they are about the same as us in terms of strengths and weaknesses. Okay, maybe this is our strategy. For that to happen, the students need time. The students need time to go through the game, need time to process their thinking, need time for the exploration.
Okay. And I would say that would make their learning more meaningful, and it will actually solidify what they learn from our lessons.
Definitely, because the ideas come from them.
They construct their own knowledge.
Yeah, that's right. They don't just construct alone, they construct with their friends. I mean, then that's when, if you ask me, inquiry-based learning help my students learn better, definitely. Because when students are the one who come up with the answers, or better still, they are the one who comes up with the questions, then what they are learning is what they really want to learn. In that sense, it's motivating for them. In that sense, it helps them to connect the dots in their head better, right? Isn't it?
True. You're right. I believe what you said as well, because personally, I experienced how my students reacted after trying some of the inquiry-based learning processes in my lessons. So I also feel that a more constructivist way of teaching the PE lesson helps to motivate the students to want to learn, and therefore learn better, because they want to learn, therefore they learn better, since they are taking ownership of their own learning. But let's say if there are teachers who want to try out inquiry-based learning, but they find that the steps towards inquiry-based learning is a little bit too daunting. How can we help teachers who want to try out to maybe take small steps to try inquiry-based learning in PE lessons?
A few key features of inquiry-based learning, what I would like to share here. Firstly, the teacher has to learn to be a facilitator. Which means you do not direct everything in the lesson. You need to plan for time and space for your students to explore with you, guiding from the side. You must be willing to allow that time and space for them to facilitate. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you do not set the expectation of the class. Neither am I saying that you allow them to do anything they want. there will still be that learning outcomes that you want the lesson to accomplish. There will be success criteria that you need to set to help your students know whether they are successful or not. What I'm saying is how you carry out your lesson. If we are going to allow them to inquire, to have that time and space to make sense of what they have just experienced, or even debate with their friends which is the better way to play as a team. This is where you may want to relook at the lesson, how you plan. Have you been doing a very tight lesson plan where, from what time to what time, 10 minutes like that only, 20 minutes like that only, or 5 minutes do this, 5 minutes do that, 5 minutes again, do thinking. Do allow that time and space. Most importantly is this is a student-centered approach, which means you are giving your students that choice. You may want to ask yourself, how ready are you to give them certain choices? If everything is still clueless, key one is teacher is a facilitator. Key two is the student has to be the active learner. So what are the different ways that you carry out that allow your students to be the one who discuss and come up with solutions themselves? What are the different ways that you allow your students to choose whether it is the task practice or to choose how they want to play? Or do you allow them to modify one or two rules to make it more challenging or make it more playable for themselves? I mean, these are the different ideas that I am thinking about. If let's say you do not know where to start, then maybe I would say start from where your students are. If your students have not have the habit of discussing a solution with someone, you may want to just start off with asking questions, giving them that time and space to think, pair up with someone that they really trust, and then share the answer with their friends first. This is a way to slowly help students realize that, hey, I have a choice. I can also voice out my ideas. And my friend is not going to put me down for my idea, however weird it might look like. Yeah, because not all students are ready to open up and throw out the answer in a big group where teachers ask questions, isn't it? That's why looking at a few things lah. Are you ready to start off doing ask your students to be the one who take charge? Are you ready to modify the games that allow the students to play and understand what's the problem and then they make a decision? If you are not ready yet, I mean, as a teacher, we also have to beef up our skills and ability. So the teacher is no longer the person who is standing in front and saying everything, telling everything, show and tell, I show you this, what you do, okay, you go back and you try out my solution. No. Yeah, you will have to find different ways to facilitate your students to understand. Find different strategies to help your students to learn with their friends, not just learn from the teacher, but learn from their friends also. Yeah. If let's say you are quite ready, you have been using Q&A, then you look at your students' readiness. If they already have this kind of habit of discussing, coming out with solution, I think that's very good. Then the next part is you may want to look at, okay, for this module, let's say if it is a floorball, do I know enough? Do I know enough to bring in the different scaffolds for the different learners? Yeah. If let's say I'm not really a floorball player, like for myself, I used to do running. I grew up being a runner, track and field. So what I do is I work with my peers who are good in territory invasion games, who are floorball players themselves. I learn from them and design the modified games with them to bring out the question that I want my students to think. Because being in PE and we are expected to teach the different categories of games or not even different things like health and fitness, all this we also have to teach, right? We may not be an all-rounder, you see. So actually all of us will need to slowly pick up what we may not be so good at in using games to teach the students to empower them, right? it is advantageous if we are the player ourselves, because one look we'll know, okay, I know what is the problem, so I can make a tweak to help the students be able to understand better, or I can change one rule so that it really challenge the students to think harder how to strategize. Yeah, a player who only just started later has not have that depth of knowledge in the game, will definitely need help from other colleagues lah. Yeah. So finally, it's the environment readiness lah. If don't have, then of course set the routine, set your expectation right. Because when you want to empower students to make the decision on their own, you don't want a lesson in the end where everyone is just doing different thing and they are not learning according to what the LO is for that day, right? Yeah. So you need students to be taking charge. Yeah, and that's where our classroom routines are very important. The positive classroom culture.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I totally agree with you. So I like specifically the part where you mentioned about starting small. Yeah, and if we want to start, but we are not very sure how to go about doing it, we start small first by simply asking our students some basic questions which they can think about and try to sort out some kind of solutions that they may have during the lesson itself. I think that is really a good start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then second, if I hear you correctly, there should be a change in mindset or beliefs on how the lesson should be conducted.
Yes.
Because if we feel that a lesson should be student-centered, then there will be a need to let go of a bit of control and give the leadership of learning back to our students.
Yeah.
But that would mean probably thinking through a little bit on how we should structure our lessons while not compromising expectations, routines, success criteria, and the physicality outcomes of PE lessons. Yeah. And I think finally, if I hear you correctly again, if we really want to try this out and go long term, okay, to create student-centered learning in PE lessons, ask for help. Talk to some friends who may be more in tune, okay, using IBL or GCA strategies, and work out a simple lesson plan together. And I think carrying out the lesson would be much easier also lah.
Definitely. Like you have highlighted, yes, start small. If I'm someone who have not been consciously using question, that can be a start. If I'm someone who would try, I think I'm more interested to design the question or design the problem through the games or through the task, the learning task, so that my students are thinking about the question, then you may want to start from there. If I'm someone who tends to be more mechanical in my thinking, that I know there's a step 1, 2, 3, 4, then maybe end the lesson with a reflection. Not the teacher doing the consolidation, but the students are the one thinking about what have they learned. And then from there, ask them what's next for them. I think it all goes back to looking back at who is ourselves first. What do we believe? If let's say this teacher has heard about IBL or GCA or NLP, but I do not know where to start. And I currently my class still seems to work very well. The kids are doing very well. They are very actively involved. But you have any inkling of like trying to start somewhere, right? Yeah, get a friend, someone to bounce ideas. If not, look for people who have done something along that line. I think that can give you some ideas where to start.
Yeah, and I have to thank you and Ting for leading the way in IBL. Yeah, that's where I got the inspiration to try it out. And one of the reasons why I did that was also because when I do traditional teaching of PE, where I insist my students go my way or the highway, the motivation level of my students actually dropped. Yeah, so some of them struggled during the lessons. Some of them are just doing performative actions. Yeah, to appease me. Yeah, so that I won't shout at them. But I think that in the long run, I felt that it didn't sit well with me. It felt weird. Yeah, because I don't think my students are really learning. They are pretending to learn in front of me. Yeah. So having gone through ideas on how to teach E21CC with you, having gone through how to go about teaching IBL with you, I really picked up the pedagogical ideas and apply it to my lessons. And I felt that there is an effect on the motivation level of my students lah. And that's why I also advocate that we try out, IBL during our PE lessons.
I remember when we first started, I remember very clearly that I told you, hey Damon, you have very good positive classroom culture. It is so easy for me to try different things. If you don't have a positive classroom culture already set in the classroom, when I try to get them into discussion, a lot of times I've been through such classes where the kids do not know what to discuss, even if the questions are written out on the board. So subsequently, after a few trials, then I realized that maybe don't even get them into a small group, or worse still, ask them throw out the question in class, like we call popcorn, and expect students to raise their hand and answer. Our students are secondary school students where they are already at the adolescent stage. At this point in their life, to them, status as well as respect is the most important. Okay, no, I say one. It's a report from UNICEF that look at our adolescents' brain growth. Actually published this report in 2017, stating very clearly that our students, when they're at the adolescent stage, we can start as early as 10 years old. What happened is the limbic system, which is the part of the brain that controls emotions, is more mature than their prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that controls logic. So at this point in time, right, anything that they are very happy about, they'll feel a lot of happiness. So they'll keep doing. But for things that they find that they dislike, the feeling is the same law times 100. I really dislike. So then when they really dislike, that creates certain behaviors, disruptive behaviors that we often may see in our lessons. For students who have learned how to regulate themselves, they will pretend to learn. Because they do not want to face the consequence of, let's say, scolding from the teacher. Or worse still, may get to write lines for not following instructions, let's say. So then, as what you are saying, are they really learning?
Or pretending to learn.
That's the thing. If we really want our students to learn, and we understand that at this stage of their life, this is who they are. They are pretty much, I won't say controlled, but led by, their decisions tend to be led by emotions more logic. And some of them may not have learned how to regulate their behaviors. Then let's see what really works. Dr. David Yenner, in his book, which was published last year, says that communication matter. How we communicate with the students really matter. So the first thing is you really need to remember, don't just tell. Ask. So the first thing he says, ask, don't tell. Ask them. They already been through primary school. They come to us at a certain age where, by right, they have gone through so many rounds of oral discussion with their friends in primary school. Do they not know? No, not really, right? We know that our students actually know, so we ask them to understand from their perspective what is happening. In this game, it does not work well. Instead of us telling them, hey, you should do this, actually maybe they already know, and they maybe can even tell you, because I didn't pass well because of that. But if we start nagging, actually they start to shut down. Because to them, that is not respect. Actually, I know, why do you have to keep telling me all the small things? So in their head, what they're thinking about is, actually, I know, why do you have to keep nagging at me? to them that is not respectful to them.
Mm.
So the other advice by Dr. Yueh is no, you really have to really presume agency lah. Like they really will take charge if you allow them to. Of course, some of us may say, "Oh, I try, well, I allow them choice, but they are not moving, they are not doing."
Yeah.
But then let's not forget, if for their whole life they have been told and they only learn how to follow instruction very well, then there will be, you need to give them some time, maybe 1 month, maybe a few more lessons to really learn to take charge. Yes, the initial phase will be tough for both teachers and students. Because for students, they have to step out of their comfort zone of just listen to instruction and follow instruction, right? To now, then they suddenly realize that, hey, teacher, allow me to decide. Wow, how to decide? They have to learn how to decide. Oh, how to do, and how to do with my friend. Oh, this friend of mine might be short temper person. How do I work with this person? Or this person, oh, actually very good at this and that. How do I learn from this person? You need to give them that time to step out, to learn, and these are new skills, that communication, collaboration skills, which can happen when we allow them the chance to do their choice and voice out their learning.
Yeah, I like the word that you use, ask. Yeah, because when we ask, right, okay, a question is being used. And usually questions can help spark a lot of curiosity. And when curiosity is being sparked in our learners, they will tend to want to draw out, okay, their prior experiences and their prior knowledge. And once their prior knowledge is being drawn, right, and they interact with something new that they are supposed to interact, there is a higher chance that the new knowledge that they are supposed to learn is being constructed. Therefore, the learning is deeper, the learning is more concrete and meaningful for them. And I think this is where the value of inquiry-based learning is, okay, which is sparking the curiosity in our students. And this is the key to keep them motivated to want to learn properly during the lesson, which I think to me back then, okay, is an irony. Yeah, because I feel that me as the teacher should be the one, okay, dictating and leading the way, okay, in the lesson. They have to follow what I say. Yeah, but after trying out all these constructivist ideas from working with you, I think really the impact on the students is very concrete lah. I would say it's very concrete. Yeah, because I experience it and I see it myself.
I must say that you are open to ideas, and I think that is where we start, even for ourselves, right? Yeah, that's where we start. If we keep thinking that this is the only way, my way or
The
highway, then nothing will change lah. Yeah, I think in this era where we read news about our students really require a lot more mental wellness, they come to our lesson with limited abilities to communicate or even collaborate due to how they have grown up with technology, all these things, right? I would say then it's even more important for us to relook at how we teach, relook at how we help our students to learn. Yeah. I wouldn't say no, the kids we have today is totally different from the kids that we teach like 20 years ago. They are still that child who feels that respect is very important, especially at this stage. And they may be also the same child who do not know how to regulate their temper yet, that they have not learned enough strategies to help themselves feel calm when they are angry, for example, or manage different situations. Yeah. But what is really evident is because of the current fast-moving environment that they are in, the VUCA world that they are in, and they are always on social media, that actually means that they are introduced to a lot of vastly varied ideas out there. It could be ideas from different countries, different things that they have seen, which may not be the teaching that they actually experience at home. That's why they come to us maybe confused. They come to us haven't had enough practice communicating. They come to us feeling stressed that they must always be 100% like those that they seen on, let's say, TikTok, where everything looks so good for the people, and then how come I'm not as good as them? They start comparing, right?
Yeah.
So that's why in our teaching, let's help our students to learn to voice out. In our teaching, let's help our students to make good decisions. But all this cannot be done if we are always directing. That's for sure. So then, as what you have said, as a teacher, we really have to step back and look at what should we do if we want to grow this child who is able to face that VUCA world, to make good decisions. That what they see online, that they are able to decide, okay, I think I'm not going to follow this, that I think this is not logical, rather than just read and then follow. Right? Yeah. Then if I need to step back, then give ourselves time. I would say give ourselves time, step back, take a look at who we are, what are we comfortable with right now. If I have always been directing in my lesson, okay, what is that one thing that I would like to try? Is it the use of question? Is it the changing how I teach the games?
Okay.
Or arrange my students to learn from one another, and I set aside one small part of my lesson to do this first.
Okay.
Yeah, start small, like what I say.
Yeah, start small. So I think we spoke a lot. What you have said is awesome, really awesome, fantastic. But usually at the end of our conversation, right, I will ask my guests to maybe share one nugget of wisdom or one key takeaway for our audience. So if you have one nugget of wisdom that you have, right, what would it be for our audience to take away?
I would say be curious ourselves. And be courageous to step out of our comfort zone also. For that one thing that we introduce in what we have discussed just now, try one thing to help your students be self-directed, right? We ourselves need to have the courage to make that change. So be curious, be courageous.
Wow, well said. Because if we want our students to be curious, right, and if we are not curious, how can we get them to do inquiry-based learning? So well said, really, really well said. Thank you so much, Kaye.
Thank you.
All right. So if you like today's episode, please give a like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.